Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
Be the change that you wish to see in the world. Now, this is a very famous, if not, I would say probably one of the most, quoted of the Gandhi quotes, as he said many great things in his lifetime, and it is one that means a lot to me. It was actually a quote that we had in our chiropractic office when my husband and I had our practice in St. Albert, Alberta, Canada for about 14 years, and it hung over the door. And so when you left the office, you would see it, kind of right up above the door. You would see that quote, be the change you wish to see in the world. And you know what's interesting is I think that, well, number one, some of the most simple things, and we're just going to keep it with the title of this episode, which is be the change. That's really what it means. That you wish to see in the world. It's like, we know that, right? So be the change. Those three simple words, how some of the most simple words can have the most profound meaning. And so I'll share with you what these words used to mean to me and what they mean to me now. What they used to mean to me is be the change, meaning that, you should, or you can be the one who leads, who takes action, who actually does something, right? Like something that you do. So in other words, some people will say things like, well, this should change and so-and-so should do this, or there should be this is an idea that would be, it's like, no, you do those things. You be the change. You want to see that change happen? You're the one to fucking lead the call, right? Be the change. Be the change you wish to see in the world. And I think understanding the impact that we have to be able to do that, right? But that it all came down to do the change. Do the change. That's how I kind of heard it before, is do the change. But what I think that Gandhi really meant was be the change, meaning what is your energy? What is your intentionality? What is your consciousness? What is your intention when you do something? So let me give you an example. I used to, when my kids were getting ready for school in the morning, and because my youngest is just at school this year with kindergarten, so before that with daycare, I would have kind of lunches ready and stuff and clothes laid out, but I would often move about it where it's my body and even my mind just felt stressed. It felt stressed. I'd be watching the going, okay guys, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, come on, we gotta go, we're gonna be late, let's put the iPad down, it was, my energy was very intense. It was very aggressive. And, the kids would respond accordingly. And then if they were blowing up, then I would blow up, and then there'd be tears, and, Now, it's very different with me. It's still the same thing. It's still the same outcome that we need to accomplish, which is get the kids out the door in the car so I can drive them to school, and we hopefully make it to school on time, right? Every parent's task first in the morning with kids that are in school, right? That you have to drive or walk or however it works for you. Which, believe me, until you have kids, you'll be like, what's the big deal? Then you'll know. You'll know that each day you get them in, you're like, hallelujah. Praise Jesus. We did it, right? Another day kind of thing. And so now when I move throughout my day, it's very different. It's very different. I didn't like the way that I was showing up. And so I decided to begin to choose different. And so I'm calm. If I catch myself kind of feeling stressed, I just do what I just take a breath. I know that we're going to get to the same end result. So I just really decided that I don't need to be stressed in the process. And here's the most interesting piece of that. My kids are less stressed in the morning now. There's less of the reactions. Of course, it still happens at times. Of course, it's still that I don't want to go to school, but even that, my response to the objections, right, that my kids might bring up, the curveballs that do happen in parenting, is I very rarely do I react anymore, or here's the consequence, or if you do this, then that. I still might do that at times, but I'm really calm in it. But it's just more so, it's like the curveball's coming, and how do I It's like when I'm boxing, it's like the punch is coming, I'm going to slip or like roll under it or find a way how to like get away from that thing. And so I'll be light about it. I'm like, oh, come on, buddy. I don't want to go to school ever. Well, here's the deal, buddy. It's kind of the law. Not really, but I'm just going to tell you that. A little bit of a white lie with parenting, right? Or is it a law? I don't know. Is it a law? Is it a law? This is what I told Tyson this morning. I go, here's the deal, buddy. It's pretty much, it's the law. And once you finish high school, then you can be out. So you know what? If you want to finish high school early, then you can do that. He's like, oh, I'm going to finish in grade 3. I go, no, you can't do that. I go, but talk to Raquel. She's one of our babysitters. I'm like, she finished a year early, so maybe she can tell you. If you're a good student and you work really hard, then you can maybe finish high school earlier than you need to, and then you can be out. And then whatever you want to do after that, buddy, Daddy and I it doesn't matter to Daddy and I. We don't care if you go to college, university, because I don't. We both have so much like education, schooling, but we don't believe now that's the be all end all, right? And so it's like, no, just whatever you want to do, but you got to get through high school. That's the kind of rule. So that means we have to go to school today. So come on, buddy, right? Or I deflect things, or I, redirect. Redirect is a cool one with kids, right? When they're young enough to kind of know that, it's a little bit of a tool to kind of just get them focused on something else. And they don't really know that you're doing it, right? You can just get like really good at it and just have fun with it. And it's lighter and it's not so heavy and all that kind of stuff. And so the way that I be the change now for my children, and guess what? Again, they show up calmer. Not as many of the, the meltdowns and the overreactions and, the pushback. Because I'm not in that space. And so why am I sharing this with you? I think there's so many times that we can be in situations in life where things are really hard. Let's just be honest, sister, right? Life is fucking hard sometimes. It just is. It just is. And the more that we resist and push up against this and go, why is this happening? Well, why is that person doing this? And this isn't fair. And all those things could be true. And there's nothing wrong with giving some energy or getting those feelings out. Like, that's okay. But I think what we fail to understand in those moments is that the power that we have to shift, not as I'm doing it to control and manipulate some of the situation, but just to understand that the way that you be, your energy, your intention, how you choose to show up, how you choose to stay in a place of love and compassion and understanding and acceptance, all places ego doesn't want you to be. Ego wants you to react. It wants you to be a place of fear. It wants you to be like, did you hear what she said to you? Oh, no, she didn't. Like, that's ego, right? Like, no, the more that you choose the opposite of that, right? Which is, again, love and acceptance, understanding, compassion and empathy, and looking at my little dudes and going, oh man, Tyson's having a bit of a meltdown. I wonder if he just, he's tired a bit, or I wonder if something else is, going on, knowing that that outburst is just a front for like hurt and other stuff. And we see it in our kids, but we have the ability to see it in other people too, and other experiences, and to trust and to surrender to what is going on and understand that whatever it works for you as far as higher power, God, universe, Buddha, Allah. I really am terrible with understanding most religions, and so please do not get upset if I've missed the name of your God or your higher power, but whatever that higher power is for you, to understand and trust that everything is okay. And it's so hard when you're in the thick of things, isn't it? Like, believe me, I understand this very much so right now, and I'm there right now. But I also understand that there are a lot of pieces to things that we can't, control. Like, what do the people say, what they do? But I can certainly control, if you will. And I have the ability to direct how I show up to a situation, how I be, how I respond, what is my intention, what energy am I bringing to that experience. Am I allowing myself to react, or I'm going to stay grounded and centered in a place of love and compassion, knowing that here's the outcome that I want for a situation, but I'm going to also let go of those expectations. I'm going to let go and let God. I'm going to be the change. So here's your more tip for today then, sister. I want you to write these words, be the change, on a post-it note. And for the next 24 hours, you're going to carry it with you everywhere. So maybe up in your bathroom mirror first thing in the morning when you're getting ready for work or school or taking care of the kids. and then you're going to bring it in the car with you. And if you go to an office, you're going to to the office or bring it to the gym with you. You're going to attach it to your phone. You're going to then put it up on your computer screen once you get to the office, or if you work from home, on your laptop. You could put on wallpaper on your phone if you want, because, a lot of us kind of check our phones often and incessantly and check on the time and all that good stuff. And be the change for 24 hours. You're going to have that as a constant reminder. You don't have to have anything else because you remember this conversation. And feel free to also go back and listen to this episode several times to remember this conversation. And then I want you to open up your journal and to share, to write, like, what did this experience do for you? What came up for you in this process? What did you hear for you in this whole experience? What was true for you? By remembering to be the change and knowing that the power that you have to impact any experience, any situation that you are in, by the way that you be. And I'm telling you right now, it's more powerful than your actions. It's more powerful than your words. Because it's something that other people feel. You get that? Like, they can hear your words, but we know words don't really mean all that much, right? They can see your actions and go, ooh, that's somebody who is actually doing something, right? And they can, that can be, seen as honorable, and that's true and all that good stuff. But when they feel it, where it's almost at like a subconscious level, it hits people at a much different realm than simply by words, and absolutely by even your actions that you're doing. So there you go, sister. And yeah, journal what this experience was like for you. So a couple of things finishing up for this episode. Number one, if you were wanting to order Women Wanting More, a limited edition journal that I sent out for free, the 570-ish or so, I'm sorry, but it is done. There are no longer any more journals. That's it. So if you did receive one of the 570 plus over the last 18 months, beautiful. I'm so happy to have sent that to you. Okay. Number two, there's a new Facebook community I created called The Journey to Feminine, where we talk about what does it mean to be woman? How is our experience in the world then different? And to have these conversations, which feel funny, right? Because we're like, well, we're women. Should we know these things? No. And so this is the whole purpose, and to have a lot of these just really honest conversations. So to join the group, it's a closed Facebook group. I want you to go to Facebook, go into the search bar, The Journey to Feminine, and request to be added to the group. Okay, so that's number two. Number three, I have a very, very exciting thing to announce to you. This is super cool, okay? So I have not done any kind of new programs for months and months and months. And a lot of you have been asking about it because I took a pause from coaching, still doing the podcast. I still had another coaching program for a while called the Sisterhood, but then we closed that down just so I could just create space and figure out what I'm doing from here. And so this is the first thing back in, which I'm pumped to share with you. So this is called the Women Wanting More 21-Day Challenge. You will be in this challenge with 20 other women, so 21 women in 21 days. And at the end of the 21 days, with the things that I teach you in daily challenges, which, by the way, will only take you like 10 or 15 minutes, so not long, you will have a plan for what you want to create in your life. So we're going to go through, a lot of these pieces of like mindset and objections, things that get in the way. See, a lot of you approach creating the things you want in your life, we'll call it maybe goal setting, by just being really into like, what are the tools and the techniques? I'm going to set this up, I'm going to do this thing, The challenge with that, if you do have a shaky foundation, aka your mindset, then you will sabotage, you will like not do things, you'll say things like, I know how to do this, why am I not doing it? Because there's mindset pieces, the way that you see the world, that are in the way. And so we're going to debunk and get rid of a lot of that stuff within the first week, and objections, things that get in the way of you creating a life that you want. Week 2, we're going to get into how you clearly understand what it is that you want and why. And then week 3, we're going to get into the how and the plan. So at the end of 21 days, you will have a plug and play plan that you can now take that and put that into place to create the life you want for the rest of this year and beyond that, and have the tools to keep going onwards from there. And the only way to screw it up is to not do it. Okay, so here's the deal. There are already 13 spots that have been taken. Okay, today is Tuesday, January 22nd. I'm going to put this out a little bit later in the day when I publish this on iTunes. And so if you listen to this 5 days from now, I'm sorry, but it's probably closed at this point. There are currently just 8 spots that are left. That's it. 8 spots left. So if you're listening to this podcast, January 22nd or a few days afterwards, because we're starting in 6 days, then you need to get on this. So here's what you need to do to join the challenge, okay? Investment is minimal. The bonuses I'm giving you, a coaching call with me, like it's redonkulous. Plus the 21-day challenge, it's just $97. That's it. $97. Everybody has that. And I set this because I just don't want there to be any excuses. This is a gift I'm giving to all the women that have kind of been waiting for a while of like, how do I learn to put this stuff into place that you talk about in the podcast? So this is my gift to you at the beginning of this year. $97 to invest in you, and it's going to be incredible. So to get in on the challenge, 8 spots left. Again, I can't make any guarantees, but if this is resonating with you or it's hitting your heart or you've passed on stuff where you're like, this is the time now, I keep saying the next thing, and this is now the next thing. What I want you to do is I want you to email me, drkarenosburn@gmail.com, 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 and say, I want in on the 21-day challenge. Okay? I want in on the 21-day challenge. I want in on the 21-day challenge. If I can get that out, it's like a tongue twister. I want in on the 21-day challenge. Let me enunciate that. And I will email you back all the details and the link to register so you can get set up on that right away. All right, sister. I will talk to you next episode. Thank you for listening today. And a life of more is one step away from you being the change every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosburn.com/newsletter.